Now that we've got the butter cut in, all we need to do for biscuits or scones is simply to stir in the buttermilk. Because you want the butter to stay frozen, you want your buttermilk to go in cold as well. And you'll notice that I'm starting not with the full amount of buttermilk it calls for, but a little bit less, and just start getting the liquid incorporated into the dry. The thing about scones and biscuits is you want to handle it as little as possible. You don't want to knead it. You don't want to work the dough. That's a great thing to do when you're baking bread, and it helps create the gluten. It helps give you the nice fine texture in bread. And absolutely, when you're baking bread, knead away. When you're making scones or biscuits, exactly the opposite. You treat this as minimally as possible, and you just don't knead or work the dough. And it's one of the reasons I've gotten away from using my mixer. It'd be very simple to incorporate this with the mixer, but you run the danger of overworking the dough just by the sheer physical action of that mixer. Not being the most patient sort, I'm about to stick one hand into this bowl and help finish getting the liquid and the dry blended together. And because my butter was frozen, and because my buttermilk was cold, the dough is cold, very cold. And it's a little bit less likely to want to incorporate liquid. So you do end up probably needing to splash a little bit of extra liquid, buttermilk, whatever liquid it's going to, your recipe calls for, into the dough. Now, I'm not kneading the dough. I'm really mostly just gathering it together and kind of spinning it and turning it to try to get the rest of these dry pieces incorporated into the moisture and moisturized dough here. And this should just about do it. You know, baking is very much a science, but it's never an exact science, okay? So the amount of liquid that it's going to take on any given day will vary with the warmth of your kitchen, will vary with the humidity in the air. It just seems to be very much environmentally controlled. So don't be afraid of adding extra, but add it very sparingly. It's very easy to add just a little bit more, very difficult to subtract.